I think a lot of us, we sort of allow our past experiences and the past circumstances in our life to sort of harden us, right? Not only harden us, but close us off from love. We might have had experiences in which we were rejected, betrayed, abandoned, right? And we create these metal fences and metal cages around ourselves. And we harden ourselves and close ourselves off from love because we believe that doing this will sort of prevent us from getting hurt again, prevent us from being betrayed, rejected, and abandoned again, right? And this is one of the worst things that we can possibly do. Because I believe that to be open to life is to be open to love. You know, when we talk about love, we talk about love in a very restricted and confined manner, right? We talk about love in terms of, familial love, right? Platonic love, right? And relationship love, which for the most part, romantic love brings us the greatest deal of pain for the most part, right? But love goes way beyond this, right? Love is the essence of our being. Who we are is love. We are made in the image of God, and God is love, right? And we have an abundance of love within us that is waiting to be expressed, right? That is waiting to come out, that is waiting to be given, right? We literally exist for love, right? And love is the essence of who we are. So whenever we close ourselves off from loving, right? Because we're afraid of getting hurt, we're quite literally stifling the essence of who we are, right? We're stifling our being, right? We're stifling our greatest form of expression. And I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of hard when in the past you've shown up to life, right? You've shown up to life and you had so much love that you were eager to give. You were waiting to love people. You were waiting to receive love. Only for the love that you wanted to give, you ended up being betrayed, abandoned, and rejected, so on and so forth, right? It is very hard to show up to life and to give that love again. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna sit here and act like it's not hard. But you have to understand that even though it's hard, you have to still do it. And you're not doing it to appease other people. You're not doing it to sort of, in a sense, get right with other people. You're doing it to get right with yourself. And sure, other people might benefit from you showing up to life and showing up to life with your heart open to receive and give love, right? But most importantly, you're showing up for you. Because you have to understand that since love is your life force, since love is who you are at your core, whenever you're not walking in love, you're quite literally walking in death. You are a walking zombie, right? Whenever you're not walking in love, you're walking in the opposite of love, which is fear. You're walking in hatred, you're walking in anger, you're walking in resentment, and this quite literally will destroy you from the inside out, right? I was reading a book the other day called the 3 Magic Words, and there's a section in the book, very interesting book by the way. I believe that you guys should pick it up. I'm probably going to do a different book list again, but for the time being, that's a really excellent book that you guys should check out. And the author of the book was talking about love, right? And he said that there's only one force that exists in this world, and that force is love. But when it comes on to negative emotions such as fear, hatred, and anger, those emotions are simply love in frustration, right? And it usually stems from even as far back as our childhood, in which we might not have had the best childhood, might not have had the best parents who, I guess, dealt with the love that we had to give in the best way, right? We might have had experiences even as far back as our childhood, which, whether consciously or unconsciously, teaches us or molds us to suppress the love that we have to give, right? And for the most part, when we grew up with this, I guess, resentment and close-heartedness. And we believe that the only way we can protect ourselves is by closing ourselves off. And when we do that, we're quite literally dying from the inside. You are dying a slow death, right? You're quite literally dead in this moment because you're suffering internally. A lot of people in this world are unhappy because they carry the hate, the anger, the resentment, which are sort of serving as barriers to their expression of their love. And if love is your life force, you are your best self whenever you are expressing this love. But closing yourself off isn't going to hurt anyone else but you. You're the one that is going to be affected. You're only one that's going to suffer internally. Sure, others might, I guess, be affected by, the negative expression of certain emotions and certain built up traumas and hurt and anger that you have. But for the most part, you are the one that is suffering the most. You can't allow life and the experiences of life to get the best of you. You can't allow life to close you off from love. And I'm not saying to, just be careless with whoever you allow into your life, right? Like me personally, I'm the type of person, I'm very selective with who I allow into my life, right? I quite literally vet people. I make sure that the people who show up to me, they, in a sense, have to bring positivity into my life. I don't allow negativity into my life, right? But also, I don't close myself off. Like, if good people show up to me and show up in my life, I'm ready and willing to give them love and receive their love, right? It's about lowering your guard, not lowering your guard in the sense that you just allow anyone into your life, but lowering your guard for the people who are willing and waiting to receive and give you love, right? There are people in this world who are willing and ready to love you as you are. It might seem as if, your past experiences only facilitated people who were ready and willing to take you for granted and take your love for granted and hurt you and misuse you and whatever, so on and so forth, right? But not everyone is the same. Not everyone is out to get you. There are people in this world who are willing and waiting to receive your love. I talk about this all the time. There are people who will love you as you are, who won't take your love for granted. But you showing up to everyone with that close-heartedness and that, I guess, that rigidity, if that's even a word, right? You showing up in a very rigid manner, you're only going to push the people away who are waiting to love you. And there are people in this world who are looking for you. But how are they going to receive and give you love if you make yourself rigid and hard and you suppress the expression of your love? You're only hurting yourself, right? Don't give your experiences power over you to stifle the essence of who you are. You quite literally came into this world for that manner, and that manner is for love. Love is the force that connects us all, right? But fear, anger, resentment, all those things close you off from the grandest expression of who you are. And you're quite literally dying a slow death. I believe that a life lived that isn't lived from love, or a life lived in which you're not expressing the essence of who you are, is quite literally a meaningless life. What's the point being here if you're not going to love? What's the point being here if you're not going to show up and give your gift of love, give your expression of love to the world? There's no point at all, right? Life quite literally is about love. Like I said before, it is the force that connects us all. And even the great masters, Jesus, the Buddha, whoever you want to mention, they all talk about this. All religions have this one thing in common, and that one thing is love. So don't stifle the essence of your being based on past experiences. Sure, you should be mindful of who you allow into your life, but don't walk this earth and don't live the rest of your life hardening yourself, closing yourself off. Drop those walls and allow yourself to be vulnerable. A lot of times, we sort of add a negative connotation to vulnerability. And vulnerability isn't a bad thing at all. Being vulnerable is how we're meant to live, because relationships are vulnerable, right? I believe that a relationship in which you cannot express, or I guess show up to the person as your authentic self and with your authentic love, is pointless. What's the point of having people in your life if you cannot even show them the depths of who you are? What's the point of having people in your life in which you cannot even give them the grandest expression of your love, right? We are quite literally here for love. Don't allow your past to harden you, right? Let the past be the past and bring yourself to the present moment. And like I said before, I'm not saying it's not hard. It is hard as hell when you've tried to love people in the past only to get hurt. But it's only hurting you. It's not hurting them when you close and harden yourself. You know deep down that you desire to love. You know deep down that you want people in your life who you can express and give your love to. You know that. We all do, right? Let's not pretend that we don't. But sometimes we put up a mask and we put up a facade and we act like these super tough guys, right? We act like these hardened soldiers, right? As if we're not willing or we don't desire to be vulnerable. But at the depths of our core, we are, right? We all desire to love. Even the worst people you can think of in this world, the essence of their being is love. It just so happened that they allow the past experiences of their lives to sort of allow them to go in the opposite direction of love, right? But the only force in this world is the force of love. And that is who we are. And if you're not walking in love, then you're quite literally dying from the inside. And you're quite literally living a meaningless life. A life that is worth lived and a life that is well lived, right? A life that is worth living is a life in which you can show up as yourself and you can express, give, and accept love from the world. So don't harden yourself. Open yourself up. Remove those barriers and those walls and those cages that you've created and allow yourself to love again. Allow life to flow through you because you're here for love. And don't allow your past to rob you of your present. And don't allow your past to rob you of people who are waiting to love you. Right? So, yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for watching. And like I said, remove those cages that you've created. Allow yourself to be vulnerable again. Not everyone is out to get you. There are people who will quite literally love you and are waiting to receive your love. But you cannot come across those people, and even if you do come across them, you're going to push them away because you've hardened yourself, you've made yourself rigid, and you've created these walls of separation between you and the world. Let yourself be free, because freedom only exists in love. Peace and blessings.